Hi everyone, welcome to Michelle and the Money. This is all about your money from consumer to business news in the bi-state. We're starting with a big move from Panera Bread. Panera is planning on moving its headquarters out of Fenton. This is according to an internal memo obtained by 5 on Your Side. The company will open a new headquarters near Boston next July. Panera says the move will create a more collaborative environment. Panera plans to maintain a support center here in St. Louis, but the first Panera location opened in Kirkwood back in 1987. Of course, we call it Breadco around here. The Missouri primary election is just a few days away, and you are not just voting for candidates. There are also several amendments on your ballot. Amendment 5 would begin eliminating Missouri's income tax. 5 on Your Side political editor Mark Maxwell talked to the man who put it on your ballot.
Governor Mike Kehoe has a big idea, and next Tuesday, you decide the answer.
Should Missouri begin a phased elimination of the individual income tax with a full repeal within the next 5 years?
The campaign over Amendment 5 has come down to front porches in late July in Missouri.
I know it's hot out there and I'm an old lady, but I'm going to do it.
Marianne Owens runs the Women's Safe House in St. Louis. 60 women and children shelter there at a location kept secret for their safety. So what does the income tax have to do with the shelter? For Owens, nearly everything.
That would be a very sad day for me and every other organization in the state of Missouri that serves abused women and children, because that would take a huge amount of money away from us.
Under Missouri law, donors who give at least $100 get 70 cents back on every dollar credited against their state income tax.
You know, we have a gala coming up on August 14th. Every single one of them is taking that tax credit.
House Republican Bishop Davidson sponsored Amendment 5 and moved its final passage. The domestic violence shelter credit only works if people owe income tax. You're eliminating income tax, so the credit dies. That's just true, right?
I'll be honest, I can't speak to that particular credit. I'd have to look at the specific statute and see, is it sellable now? Is it transferable now?
We looked. It's not.
You can literally just make them transferable and sellable, and that would fix it, right?
Well, that was Mark Maxwell reporting there. So to be clear, lawmakers could still protect that shelter tax credit, but that would take a new law written by a legislature that voters have not elected yet. Right now on KSDK.com, we do have a voter guide. You can text the word guide to 314-425-5355 and we will send you a link. In the meantime, new security measures are now in place at 13 more Metrolink stations. There are new gates, and they are active at 5 Illinois stations and 8 Missouri stations, including this one that you're seeing here in Brentwood. So instead of walking onto an open platform, riders now have to scan a valid ticket or mobile pass before entering. If you've driven I-64 through downtown St. Louis, you've likely seen it. It is a giant 3-dimensional mural on the Edison Brothers building, which is now the Sheraton. Midas Hospitality is restoring it as part of an $81 million renovation project. The artist will use the same specialty paint from Germany used on the original mural more than 40 years ago. The original artist, Richard Haas, remembers meeting with Edison's then chairman before work began.
He said, I only have one thought, and that is I want you to make it a gift to the city. And that was the mandate he gave me at that time, which I think is, I have not, in my fairly long experience in public art, ever had anyone say something so wonderful and clear as that.
Well, work on the mural begins next month, and the renovated Sheraton St. Louis downtown is expected to reopen in the fall of 2027. South St. Louis is losing a grocery store. Ruler Foods on South Grand is shutting down. Its last day open is July 31st. The discount store has served shoppers near Tower Grove Park for more than a decade. It is the last Ruler Foods location in the city. Ruler Foods says the closure is part of a company-wide effort to operate more efficiently and protect the long-term health of the business. The Kroger-owned chain says all affected employees will have the chance to transfer to one of its 9 other locations in Missouri and Illinois. Well, if you are on Social Security, listen up. That August check might come a little early. Since August 1st falls on a Saturday, payments will go out this Friday, and you will also get a larger check next year. AARP forecasts a 3.6% bump next year, which is about $75 more a month. Emergency officials and broadcasters, professional broadcasters in Missouri, are sounding the alarm about the importance of AM radio. They're pushing for the passage of Senate Bill 315, saying it's crucial for disaster alerts and response. The legislation requires all cars to be equipped with AM radio. It is currently awaiting consideration and a vote.
AM radio is the backbone of the emergency alert system in the United States. So in many cases, it's those AM radio stations that are receiving the emergency alert first, and then it filters down to the rest of the stations.
Many modern cars cannot use AM radio, including Teslas. Its electric motors can disrupt AM signals. Well, President Trump announced dozens of new tariffs on numerous countries recently, meant to replace the expiring 10% tariffs that he previously put in place. Right now, the new tariffs are concerning consumers all over the United States. Linda Picaro reports.
Just as the tariffs that were ruled illegal by the U.S. Supreme Court expired, new tariffs took effect on 60 trading partners. The news immediately worrying some consumers.
Everything else is already up in prices, so we don't want that extra with the tariffs.
Absolutely, I'm very concerned about it.
The new tariffs target countries accused of violating U.S. laws banning forced labor. They range from 10% to 12.5%. Canada, Mexico, the UK, and the EU face a 10% tariff. China and Vietnam, 12.5%. Nimish Adia is professor of economics at Manhattanville University and describes the impact.
So the average consumer is unlikely to notice a dramatic price increase because one, the tariff rate of 10% is rather modest. Two, a lot of goods are exempted from these tariffs. And third, companies can switch suppliers to non-tariffed countries or decide to absorb some of these costs.
Which goods will get hit with the new tariff? Consumer electronics, clothing and footwear, furniture, household goods, toys. Lina Carrasquilla shopped for some home furnishings today.
Of course, I have to come and get what it makes me feel comfortable inside my house. And with the prices, sometimes it makes it difficult.
There are exemptions this time around: steel, aluminum, certain foods, oil, and natural gas.
I think a major impact that is often under-discussed of these tariffs is the uncertainty it generates for the businesses, since they cannot plan in advance what it's going to cost them.
Okay, so after a very quick break, local restaurants closing locations and a national chain restaurant gets a new CEO. A St. Louis staple is closing after being in business in the area for more than 2 decades. August 1st is the last day of service for Bailey's Range and Bailey's Chocolate Bar. The owners say they plan to focus on its brunch restaurant, Rooster. Also, Salt and Smoke is closing 2 of its 8 area locations. The barbecue chain says its St. Louis Hills restaurant on Hampton Avenue and its Ellisville location will serve their final customers this Saturday. In a social media post, company leaders called this decision difficult, saying recent growth brought some hard lessons. Salt and Smoke says it will focus on improving consistency, quality, and service across its 6 remaining locations. And then 2 of Crushed Red's newest restaurants are also closed. Social media posts say the Baldwin and Streets of St. Charles locations shut down Saturday, and both are now off the company's website. Crushed Red called it a difficult decision, but did not give a reason. The company says its other 5 locations are still open. Also, we want to let you know that Cracker Barrel is changing up its leadership. The company says CEO Julie Masino will step down, and her exit comes after last summer's controversial rebranding attempt. Cracker Barrel later scrapped that plan and kept its logo after so many people protested. The company says sales for the restaurant plummeted. David Dino is now taking over as CEO August 10th. The MR 340 race just wrapped up. It is the world's longest nonstop river race spanning 340 miles from Kansas City to St. Charles. That race started at 8 a.m. Tuesday morning in KC, and the winners crossed the finish line in St. Charles on Thursday. So cool, though. Tensions are rising after a public meeting this week on the new Royals ballpark plan ended early. The Royals and Crown Center held it at Union Station, and organizers apparently shut this thing down after about an hour. Our affiliate station in Kansas City reports that chants of "Let us vote" stopped the meeting. Hundreds of people raised concerns about property, traffic, and Crown Center's future. Developers say their plans outline a nearly $3 billion ballpark district. The City Planning Commission considers rezoning on August 5th, and the Royals say they hope to break ground in 2027. Car prices giving you a sticker shock. We're going to break down what's making cars so expensive. We saw some of the hottest days of the year this week in the St. Louis area. First responders are battling the extreme heat while also responding to emergencies. With an extra 70 pounds of gear, it's even harder for them to beat the heat than the average person. Florissant Fire Department officials say summer is already a busy season.
So there's multiple layers whenever you're looking at turnout gear. So you have your inner layer. This is what's going to help us regulate our body temperature and keep us safe from that heat. And then the outer layer, which is another layer of the turnout gear, this is what's going to protect us from those flames.
And as you might expect, doctors in the area say they are seeing an uptick in heat-related illnesses. This is also important because our dangerous temperatures, they might be coming to an end, but summer is still not over. We still have August to get through. And the hot temperatures can cause wear and tear on your car. Raven Little shares some tips to keep your car running.
It's easy to keep the wheels turning and the air blasting, but sometimes we take those things for granted, especially when temperatures get dangerously high.
On this tire, you'll see that this tire is severely worn. Straight across, anytime you're down to your wear bar, this tire needs to be replaced.
Tire wear is just one heat-related hazard to watch. Toyota Hattiesburg service advisor Jalen Johnson says keeping an eye on tire pressure is key this time of year.
Rising temperatures can cause your tire pressures to increase and also cause bands to expand within the tire.
When it comes to keeping cool, Johnson says you should always check your fluids and coolant levels. Pay attention to your air filters too.
Checking your cabin air filter ensures that there's no debris in the fan, allowing your AC to cool you off.
You can see here what types of debris could be getting into your fan versus a clean air filter like this one. Mississippi's extreme heat can cut your car's battery lifespan nearly in half as well.
Batteries typically have a lifespan of about 5 years, but here in Mississippi, especially due to extreme heat, you can only expect 2 to 3 years.
Johnson says if your car cranks slowly or won't start at all, your battery may be failing.
If you are in the market for a new car, be prepared for some sticker shock. And unfortunately, that used car market just really isn't better either. Jen Sullivan looks at what's driving up those costs and how you can find the best deal.
The sticker price for new cars has hit near record highs. Last month, buyers paid an average of just under $49,000 for a new vehicle, according to Edmunds transaction data. The average transaction price for a 3-year-old used car was over $32,000.
We've seen dramatic increases when it comes to price of vehicles, both new and used.
Ivan Drury with Edmunds says one of the reasons cars are more expensive is all that high technology that is now featured in cars.
It could be everything from the powertrain to the infotainment system, safety features. There can be a lot of change from one year to the next.
Drury says the car industry is still recovering from pandemic supply chain issues when there was a very high demand for cars and not enough supply.
We had that component. But things never really go down.
Because of the high costs, Edmunds found more people are putting less money down and taking out longer loans to purchase a car. In some cases, financing for 84 months. Interest rates on car loans can vary drastically depending on your credit score. If you have good credit, you can pay around 4.55% for a new car. But if you have poor credit, you can be hit with an average interest rate of 16%, according to Experian.
If you're not super picky, you'll find 25 to 30% of the vehicles on the lot in January will be from the prior model year, brand new.
Drury says while buyers have less wiggle room to negotiate the price these days, you can negotiate things like the extended warranty. He also suggests shopping around to compare prices. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The Trump administration is demanding millions of personal emergency room records. The Consumer Product Safety Commission wants at least 100 hospitals to hand over patient data by the end of the year. The agency is usually tasked with tracking dangerous products. A new program aims to collect medical records for thousands of conditions. Hospital executives and legal experts are questioning whether the agency has the legal authority to make that demand. To be continued there. Apple is giving customers a chance to lease its products. The offer applies to the iPhone 17 and Air models. Customers could lease the phones for 12 or 24 months. Macs and iPads could be leased for 24 to 36 months. The plan started at $18 a month, and the program would replace, Apple's iPhone upgrade program. Sorry. Okay. Well, more businesses are making AI their #1 priority. Chip makers all across the world are focusing more on making chips for AI and fewer ones for the electronics that we all need. Deanna DeBerry shows us how this is driving prices up and also what you can do to save.
I come here even if it's windy, snowy, rainy, or sunny.
6-year-old Devon loves this local learning lab. His little fingers keyboard with far more comfort and confidence than many adults. That's because computers, Chromebooks, and tablets are now considered essential learning tools. Tools that now cost far more than you may expect.
People usually have saved around $800 for a laptop. And for a very long time, that's a reasonable amount.
That's no longer the case. Get ready for sticker shock.
Median price has actually climbed up to $1,600, which is double what people have saved up.
For example, Apple has increased the prices across 14 product lines, and it's not alone. Experts say giant AI data centers are to blame for a huge shortage in memory chips.
But there are only 3 major companies that make these chips. And so they've shifted a lot of their resources to this high-performance AI memory, which leaves less manufacturing capacity for the consumer stuff.
And those manufacturers have warned the shortage could last until 2030.
I don't even think we've hit peak laptop prices yet. I think they're going to continue to go up for a while.
Oh, wow. So one of the things that parents like me look for is perhaps refurbished tech.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good idea?
It really is.
While you may sacrifice on battery health and cosmetic scratches, you can score big on savings.
I recommend people shop either the major manufacturers, get your refurbished products straight from them,
or major retailers like Best Buy.
Look for a place that offers, things like a 90-day return policy or an extended warranty.
Those are some really good tips. All right, coming up next, we've got the best deals of the week, from 60-cent razor packs to school supplies on the cheap. It is time for our Making Ends Meet segment, and I want you to look at the table here. Gary actually just walked by and goes, "Did you just buy the whole store or what?" Yes. Today is a great day to go shopping. I should say this week is a great week to go shopping because there are so many items on sale. Now, overall, I went to 4 stores here, but I ended up getting about 70% off altogether. So some deals are better than others. For example, when I went to Target, that was an easy deal. So I'm gonna give that like an A+ for ease, and it's all on this side of the table here. So I posted this on Instagram. I spent about $17 at Target. I got $50 worth of items, but it only took me about 5 minutes to get the deals because it's all in the app and the coupons are underneath each item. So this is one of my favorite deals because I know a lot of moms and a lot of folks in general go to Target, and when it's an easy deal, then that is an amazing thing. So I stocked up on Dawn, like the Dawn Power Wash, Dawn dish soap. That is a very great deal. Now, I will say if I had an overall pick, the one that got me like super excited, it was almost like being at the casino. Okay, because I felt like a big winner. Woo! It was down the middle here, and it's the Walgreens deals. I have to be very honest. I do have a beef with Walgreens because usually I stumble on the coupons, but this week, man, it was just so easy. Now, I don't know if it's called Oil of Olay or just Olay now, but I have these 5 body washes. These are the premium ones. They're on sale, there's a coupon, and you get money back. So this was a really wonderful deal. I always get toothpaste because you can almost get it for $1 or less. Big deal on razors this week. In fact, I ended up getting these for about 60 cents a pack, both at Walgreens and at CVS. So I love these deals. And then I just want to show you one deal that's very easy that you do not even need a coupon for. It's these little guys. So if you like Tide, for example, these are each $2.50. You can get 4 for $10, which makes it about 7 cents an ounce, which means 7 cents a load. That is cheaper than Costco Kirkland prices. So that's why, you know, it's sometimes really great to just buy these little guys because you're gonna save a lot of money. You just have to find a place to store it in your house. But you know, if you have a, like for example, I am a caregiver for my dad, so I love buying all this stuff because I can buy for him. We have a little drawer at work so anyone can pick up items. I also know a lot of teachers right now need some items. So I do want to show you these other things. Now, another one of my favorite deals this week are these little Total Home Kleenexes. That is buy one, now I'm on to CVS, buy one, get 2 free. So all of these end up being $3. And these are these little mini packs of tissues that a lot of schools need. So just to give you an idea, this little pack, if you're going with the name brand like Kleenex, that's going to cost you $7 just for this one little pack if you bought Kleenex. But if you get an off-brand like CVS, you're going to save so much more money. I mean, does it really matter what kind of Kleenexes or tissues that you have? And then one final thing that I want to show you, I have been trying to get about $10 worth of school supplies every week to show you what $10 can get you. So this time, for the first time, I actually went to Office Depot. And so I got these really nice jelly scissors, and you know, these Ticonderoga pencils. Oh my gosh, these are my favorite pencils of all time. These were really a good deal. These note cards, these glue sticks. These glue sticks were 4 for $1, so that's like 25 cents each if I'm doing my math correctly. So this is a very good deal for $10. Also, our director, Sean, I use his school supply list to go off of, and that's Collinsville. But can I just show you one thing that I always want to remind people, check the clearance aisles. So Landon, this is for you. This is Caribou Coffee. Now it's just one brand that, is this your favorite brand?
It is one of my favorite brands.
Okay, so these K-Cups are on sale for $3.97 for a 44 pack, which I did the math on that. I kind of forgot what the math was.
It's a good deal.
It's a good deal. Usually it's like $35, whatever it is, it's 10% of the actual cost. So it's 90% off right now. There is a whole end cap at the Office Depot in Kirkwood where you can get all kinds of brands for $3.97.
But get there fast, right?
Yeah, get there fast because when I saw it, I was like, ooh, Caribou.
Mm-hmm.
There was Green Mountain Coffee, Folgers, and some other ones, but I mean.
Some of the flavored varieties too.
Some of the flavored varieties, but I was like, oh, we don't have a Keurig machine anymore.
Not
at
yet.
Work.
That is next week's savings.
Yeah, it is. I know. I'm just.
We can dream.
I wish, you know.
I'd like to thank the Academy,
Someone's got to have an old one. Yeah.
What a steal.
$3.97. What is that? Can you do the math?
It was. You said it was regular 25.
No, it's regularly $34.99.
Regular 34.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's usually 11 cents. Hold on, real quick. Let me see if I can do this. $3.97 divided by 44 is 9 cents. 9 cents a little thing. I mean, it's a great deal. Don't forget the clearance aisle. A new survey found that food delivery apps are quite popular with American teenagers. The survey consulted more than 1,000 teens who are aged 13 to 17. Nearly half of them say they use food delivery apps, and a quarter use them while they're at school. A majority of teens ordered fast food like pizza and burgers. Cardinals outfielder and all-star Jordan Walker appeared at Schnucks earlier this week. Did you try to go? We tried to go as a family. He signed autographs and posed for pictures at the Richmond Heights location on Clayton Road. Red Bull also partnered with the grocery store for that event. Hundreds of people showed up, but Walker only signed autographs for about an hour. also for about 200 people. I was there, I brought my son, and it was a really wonderful experience just to be with all the Cardinals fans. We knew that we were probably going to get cut off, so then at some point we said, okay, we're going to walk around the store, and there we got to see Jordan Walker when we were outside. So if you were outside, that was the best view. It was really cool though. All right, so that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for watching Michelle on the Money. For more money stories like these, be sure to join me every morning starting at 5 in the morning. Until then, we'll see you next week on the KSDK streaming app.